Hi, I'm Julie, keeper of my home. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for joining us. I create videos on simple living, homestead grown, and all things home. Today, we're doing all things home and homestead grown, I guess both. I am in the middle of trying to organize our pantry. Now, I will show you a picture of what our pantry used to look like, and this is the new spot. This is where we moved it into this area. This is coming down into our basement. This is the first place that you see coming down into our basement. So I just put these together. I'm going to show you a picture of that too. Not of me, but of the shelves as they were getting put together. I love them. I actually found them on for a really great deal. It must have been a Black Friday deal. I don't usually coordinate those days together, but it was an early sale. They hold 4,000 pounds, so I'm liking that. I've never had wire shelving or metal shelving, so I'm anxious to see how they do. Now, I have spread out on these shelves. I have not organized them at all. They're just everything I have taken from our old shelving area into this new shelving area. And as I've lugged it in, I've just set it on the shelves. And it's all around me as well. So I'm going to try and organize things as much as I can. I did bring this down. We have, when you're coming down into our basement, we have like 4 steps, and then there's a big landing, and there's shelves there, and I have a storage spot on the landing, because the landing's big enough to hold stuff there. So I had all of that stuff on the landing, and I hated having that stuff gathered there. It was the first thing you saw. So I wanted to get it out of the stairway and get it up here. So all of that is not stuff I touch often. The rest of everything, nothing is organized. So let's just start. These were the first things I pulled off the shelf actually, and as I pulled them off, I just put them on here, and it's apple blossom jelly. So it is an A, so it is going to sit there. B is for blackberry. So, and as I'm going, I'm just going to make sure everything is cleaned up. Most everything is pretty well cleaned, but there are a couple jars that have a little bit of dust on them, so get those taken care of. And some of them are not labeled, so I'm going to take the time to label them as well. Okay. We love our jam, so we have a lot of it. Something that we have almost every single morning. So, way to start your day with sugar, right? All right, we can go pretty deep. These are 18-inch wide shelves, and they're 4 feet. 18-inch deep and 4 feet wide. One jar of cranberry. I have some cranberry and some blackberry, and I think I got those ones confused, so I think these are all blackberry. Now, I don't just have homemade stuff here. I do have some store-bought stuff, so whenever we get anything on a really deep sale, we'll pick it up and put it away, and we'll have it because prices are only going up. So if you can get it on sale, buy it and put it away for when you do need it. So, all right, I am going to get these ones put in here, and I do try to keep the I do try to keep them in order of like last year's. I try to use that up so it's closer to the front versus this year's, which would be closer to the back. So I have the blackberry, and then I've got the dandelion jelly, which Thankfully this year I did a lot of that because we go through quite a bit of it. That is the most delicious jam or jelly. I do have a video on that and I'll link that at the end of this video. This is some of the best jam ever. I do have a video on this if you missed it. I'll link that one. I just did it recently, so it has apple pie. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to move everything over because I really have to make room for that because I'm actually making more. We still have apples left from our trees. We haven't used all of the apples. So I am planning on making, Joe's planning on making more juice and I'm planning on using it for apple pie jam. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. My gosh, I had no idea we had so much jam, but that's the good thing about me doing this because I can move all of this stuff and then it gives me an idea of what I have or what I don't have. I am going to be making a few more things and it gave me a chance to clean all the jars off, and I was also able to check the lids because periodically whenever you go through your jars or if you're going down into your basement or wherever it is you have your wherever you keep your canning, you want to go through it and just kind of pull up on the lid a little bit just to make sure that it's sealed, because sometimes they, if you might have forgotten about it and it sits there and the top will come off. I have 2 jars back there that I did not take off the shelf. I left them there. I've got to go get them and throw them out because the seal had let go. So I'm going to throw those out. Okay, this is peach, which I want to write this down because I did not do it before. And I know we did those this year. So I want to make sure I date them and label them. That's one thing you always want to date and label. After you get it all put together and you get it on your shelves and you forget to label it, there's a few that I've forgotten to do that too. Like my cranberry and my blackberry. There are some blackberries that didn't get labeled, and cranberry and blackberry look quite similar when they're in the jar. All right. I'm gonna keep moving this one over a little bit. I have so many strawberry rhubarb. That's like the best one, I think. That's the most popular, I should say. Not the best, but it's the most popular. Although the apple pie jam has kind of moved in on that one. Our daughter-in-law called me and told me that I have turned our granddaughter into a jam snob. She will no longer eat store-bought jam, and so she's only eating what we made. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know what goes into this jam. It's not a bunch of preservatives, and I'm not adding anything extra. I don't think I have any more jam. I think I'm good on jam. I do have this here, store-bought, and our daughter-in-law bought this for something that she wanted me to make for her. I didn't end up using that. Let me take you around and show you. I've got stuff on the floor there, and more things here. And then if you come over here, I have more things here. We also have some freeze-dried stuff here that I'm going to be, I just pulled this out of the freeze dryer earlier this morning and bagged it up. And what I'm going to do is get it put into this tote, and anything else I'm just going to keep adding to the tote. The tote easily slides underneath of here. I made sure that I had enough space underneath on the bottom. I do have buckets of more things that have been freeze dried, so I'll probably slide those underneath of there as well. All right, so now I have these peanut butters. They were actually given to us. I have quite a few more upstairs, and I'll probably bring them down. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it next to the jam, right? I don't know, it just goes together, so I'm just gonna set it there. I also have some honey that we made, clover honey, and I'm gonna set that up in the same spot, just with the peanut butter and the jam. Isn't this pretty? It's just beautiful, honey. All right, gonna get that put away. I like to use clover honey in anything I'm cooking because I like to use bees honey in stuff that I'm not going to cook because it preserves the benefits of it. I don't want to cook those benefits. Okay, so I've got the honey. I'm probably going to go with fruit and just keep it sweet stuff, I guess. I have fruit juice. Gosh, I might put my fruit up there. I have some pineapple. So that's probably going to be the next thing that I put on that shelf. I have a lot of pineapple. I shouldn't say I. It's a group effort here for sure. My husband is a big help to me when canning anything, so it's definitely a we. I don't want to take all of the credit because I certainly am not the only one doing this. We bought fresh pineapple on sale at our Walmart here. We're in our area for $1 each. That was a steal because they're usually upwards of $3 or more depending on where you get them. That is the best way to get them because you are getting so much more than you would if you were buying canned pineapple and from the store. Even the no brand, the store brand jars of pineapple or cans of pineapple, they are expensive. So we like to can our own. And again, I know what goes into it. I'm not adding anything. No extra sugars, nothing. That is just pure pineapple. So I like that. And you can see we like pineapple too apparently because this is quite a bit of pineapple. But we can use it during the holidays for cooking. We can use it for baking. And fresh pineapple is really good in the morning with breakfast, with a slice of homemade toast. Gosh, I have a lot of pineapple. This is so nice to have this. This is so nice. I mean, what a wonderful gift this is. To gift to yourself and to your family. We love our family and we want to make sure that they're eating the best. And if you are able to do this, then what a great thing to do. 34 jars of pineapple. And I don't think I have any more anywhere else. I think I kind of left them all in the same area. I'm looking around. Yep. So 34, that's pretty good. I had not counted those before. Okay, so the end of that, probably what I will do is put up the fruit juice. I have some blackberry juice, which this is really great for if I ever ran out of blackberry jam this winter. I would have an easy way to make it because you can use blackberry juice to make blackberry jam. And I have 3 jars of it here. We have peach juice, 3 jars of that. Then I have a lot of applesauce. So I don't have any more room on this shelf. This shelf is completely done. So I'm gonna start working this next shelf here. Applesauce is something we like to have a lot of. Again, it's not just something that you want to eat on its own, but I cook a lot with applesauce, bake a lot with it. It goes great in bread, sweet breads. It goes great in cakes. You can replace your oil in most recipes by using applesauce. I like to do that. It's healthier. right. I am going to go ahead and just get these labeled and get them all put together on the shelf. Okay, there's 19 jars of applesauce here. I don't see where I have any more fruit. Well, I do have pie filling, so I may put the pie filling in here with that.
It's important to store your canned goods without the rings. You don't want the bands or the rings on your jars when you're storing them. You just want the lids, and they are sealed, so they will stay on. The problem with having your bands still on your jars after you've canned your food is that you're not able to really see if the seal has been broken, because that ring is holding down that lid. Leaving your rings on your jars can also harbor moisture or food residue underneath of them. So you don't want that, because then you're going to have a mold problem or rusting rings. And you may also get a vermin problem because of it, because they'll smell that food under there. And you don't want that to happen. So once your jars have sat for 24 hours, be sure and remove the rings before putting the jars on your shelf.
Oh my gosh, there's like so much. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like the more I go, this pile behind me is just growing more and more. And I've been running up and down the stairs. Joe's been helping me lug more stuff down here, because I remembered that I had some jars of apple pie filling upstairs. I didn't need that many jars of apple pie filling up there, so I brought some of them down here and put them with the rest of the pie filling, and I brought down some other things that were upstairs in the pantry that were just taking up space. Now that I have this space here, I'm really going to utilize this space as much as I can, because I'm very crowded upstairs. We have a large pie safe. Is that what you call it? A jelly cupboard, a pie safe? It has shelves, and I keep a lot of freeze-dried stuff in there, dehydrated stuff. Also a few canned items, like applesauce. Things that I want to have upstairs, so I don't have to run down here all the time, because I was running through this room into the back quite a ways, and it was a long journey to get to our canning. It was a pain, honestly. So having this right here at the foot of the stairs is going to be so lovely. Not that I don't need the exercise. I mean, we can all use exercise, but unnecessary is just unnecessary. So this will make things, it'll simplify things and make it a lot better. So right now what I'm doing, pickles, dill pickles that Joe had made, and then I've got some sweet pickles that I made. I like sweet, he likes dill. I think our kids prefer dill as well, the ones that like pickles. But I'm in the sweet camp. Which camp are you in? Are you a sweet or a dill? This is mustard pickles. Now these are the favorite, everybody's favorite. Like, these are really hard to keep on our shelf. We always make quite a few of these because they are such a favorite. Mustard pickles are sweet. They're in a thick sauce. They're great for putting on top of a baked potato. They're great with a roast or a roasted chicken. Yeah, they're so, so, so good. And our daughter-in-law would eat these right out of the jar. She would love them for a birthday gift every year, Christmas, whatever. Okay, I do have some soup. This is chicken stew. I may put this here. And I don't have very many jars of it. So that I don't have a lot of room here on the end. All right, so I have 6 jars of soup, homemade chicken stew. I have some canned potatoes. I may put that next to the stew. This is the first year, actually. I don't know if you guys can see me, sorry. This is actually the first year that I have canned potatoes. And I'm gonna show you the steaks and all, okay? There's no secrets here. And there's no shame and no judgment, please. All right, these are my potatoes. I overcooked them, and you can see there's a lot of starch in the jar. There should not be this much starch in the jar. Like I said, this is the first time that I have ever canned potatoes. So, lesson learned. I'm going to cook them for a less amount of time. I can use these. They can be mashed. They can be used in a like a shepherd's pie or some type of casserole. So I'm not worried about that. They will get used. I just feel bad that I didn't do them right and they don't look pretty. But, I mean, they'll feed us just the same. They don't have to look pretty. All right, I have 6 jars of potatoes. I don't think that I have any more. I've got boxes here that can be put down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with the sauces. I think I'm going to do the spaghetti sauces and the tomato, canned tomatoes. We don't have a lot of canned tomatoes or spaghetti sauce, but what we do is we freeze our tomatoes so that we can have, we can work on that later. Nobody wants to get burnout from doing too much canning. So throwing our tomatoes into the freezer helps keep us from getting burnout because we can just pull them out when we need them and make more of whatever we're making with the tomatoes. Okay, we have 8 jars of spaghetti sauce. All right, now tomatoes. I have tomatoes, but these are not labeled. And somebody will get these confused with the spaghetti sauce. Now I keep our basement, well, I shouldn't say I keep it. It tends to stay at between 50 and 55 degrees. And our humidity is between 30 and 35%, usually right about 32%. So it works for storing food down here. It seems to work. I don't know, do you guys ever follow Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch? I love following her channel, and I actually messaged her to see what she keeps her pantry at, the temperature and humidity, and hers was right about that. So that's good. It just confirmed that it's at the right temperature, because we've never stored actual like potatoes or vegetables or whatever down here, and she does store that stuff in hers. So I'm glad that I was able to find out what her temperature was at so that I can kind of know gauge where we're at with ours, so that because we do have potatoes, and and we have some beets and garlic and onions, and I just want to store that down here, but I wanted to make sure that my temperatures and humidity was good. And she's done this before. She's had experience doing this, and it worked for her. So I'm thinking, it should work for us. We live in similar climates. Okay, tomatoes, stewed tomatoes. I've got a few more of those. All right, these again are not labeled. I wasn't very good at labeling this stuff, apparently. Sometimes it gets brought down here quicker than I can get it labeled. So that may have been what happened here. These are some canned meats, and they're seasoned. When we can the chicken, we season it. Each one is different. Okay, so we have a killer bee flavor. I don't know what it's called other than a killer bee flavor of seasoning. Then we have Kinder's seasoning, the red garlic, and I have taco chicken also, and then I have a smoky peach whiskey chicken. I'll put that one in there, and then we have some chicken that is sesame ginger teriyaki. That's really good in stir fries and such. Okay, then we have some beef broth, and I've got some chicken broth. I have some turkey broth upstairs simmering on our cook stove. And that will be canned this afternoon when I finish with this project. So I'll have that to bring down onto the shelf as well. All right, okay, the chicken broth is on here. I've only got 2 pints of beef broth, so I'm gonna need to do more beef broth for sure. So we use that. Not as much as the chicken broth, but we do use the beef broth. Okay, all my empty boxes. All right, the rest is all store-bought stuff. I have a lot of coconut milk. I might put that all in a box like this and just keep it in the box on the shelf. This was something that we were given, actually, and we use a lot of coconut milk. I use it in place of cream. Like when a recipe calls for cream, I'll use coconut milk. I just kind of get it all stirred up really well and add that instead. Not all recipes can be substituted, but for the most part they can. I'm just going to put that on the shelf here. Probably put this over here. This is tuna fish. We got tuna for 88 cents a can at Walmart. It was just I don't know if it's a sale or what. So, okay, and this is a case of coconut milk as well. So I'm gonna put this all here, and this is some soup. I'll probably put that, I don't know if I have a small, I may put that in a small. box. This is cream of chicken soup. We got that for, I think it was 58 cents a can. And that's quite a buy on that. Cream soups are nice to have on hand. Let me see, I might have to move this down a little bit. Let's see. This here, and this one here. Oh gosh, this box is gonna be a pain. Let's see if these all fit in here. Alright. Soups. That. And tuna fish. I can probably get rid of this box. Put it in a smaller space. Some vinegar. Okay, I'm finished. I have finished all of it. So I even vacuumed the floor, but I didn't film that part. I think I have everything that, we have everything off those shelves here. I don't have everything on these shelves because there's no way it's going to fit. But we have a summer kitchen and it's stored in the cabinets in there. And there's some upstairs, there's some in the pantry, there's some a little bit everywhere around the house. But this is the most organized spot in the house as far as canning goes. And that is what I needed. I definitely needed that. We both needed that because we are running up and down the stairs all the time, and going out there it's quite a ways, you know, out through that storage area of the basement, like I said, and it's near where we pile wood for the winter, and it was the only available space that we had. So we utilized it. I now have a space that's clean, that's light, and available to use for our canning. So I love it. So let me just show you how everything turned out, where I have everything. Okay, this is the room. You can see this is the, and like I said, that's my son's stuff he's taking. And we've got the freeze drying stuff here. But just look at this space. Just look at it. Let's just stare at it in awe, because I'm thrilled with this space. I'm just thrilled. It's enough for us, and it's going to meet our needs, and that was what was most important. So starting at the very top, we have 2 electric roasters. This one is quite large, and then this one is more of a medium size. So we do use those, so it's nice to have those out of storage and put somewhere where I can just grab. I do have, like I said before, you know, different paper products, everyday cleaning things like that, that we have up there. So that's out of the stairway, which helps. And then we have all of this beautiful sweet goodness. We have apple jelly. We have apple blossom. No, this is the apple blossom jelly. And now this is made from the apple blossoms off of our apple trees. And then we have apple pie jam. That's delicious. And we have blackberry jelly. We don't like the jam because we don't like the seeds. So we steam juice the fruit to get the juice, and then we make jelly out of it, so it's seedless. Then we have cranberry jelly and dandelion jelly. Like I said, I can leave a link at the end of the video to show the video where we make this. Dandelion jelly is delicious. It's sweet. It tastes just like honey. And this is peach jam, and I believe this is white peaches. We've never used the white peaches before. We've usually used the yellow ones, but this time we were given some white peaches, so we used them. This is strawberry rhubarb jam. It's probably our favorite. And there's some more here. Now we have store-bought peanut butter. Like I said, this was given to us. So we have 3 jars of this. And I have more upstairs I'll probably bring down later. Then I have some honey, some clover honey. And I do make that from the clover in July, usually, when the clover is out nice and fresh. And then we have all kinds of pineapple. And like I said, if you missed it at the beginning of this video, we did get a good buy on fresh pineapple. So we brought them home, and 1 pineapple was enough to do 3 jars. So it was incredible. So what a gift, what a blessing that is. And then we have blackberry juice. And this is peach butter, but in the back we have peach juice. There's 2 jars of that. And then this is some apple juice from our apples. I think this is cran apple. Joe's actually upstairs doing more juice as we speak. So here are the potatoes canned, and this is beef stew or chicken stew that we canned. And it was actually canned, it was left over. So I chose to can it rather than freeze it because we don't have room in our freezer. This is zucchini, or just sweet relish. Then we have zucchini relish, and we have mustard pickles. And we have squash, summer squash pickles. Those are sweet, these are all sweet. And these are also sweet, like a bread and butter pickle. And these are Joe's garlic, onion, and dill pickles. So this was a recipe he got from a friend at church. They gifted us a jar, and my gosh, they were so good. So Joe had to get the recipe and make some himself. This is cowboy candy. It was the first time Joe has ever made this. He sees it on TV all the time. People are saying, you've got to try it. So he made some. This is peach pie filling, cherry pie filling, blueberry pie filling, and apple pie filling. And these are all from our trees. So that makes it really nice. Oh, these ones, I think we don't have a peach tree. Well, we do have peach trees, but they're not producing yet. So these were given to us, and we made peach pie filling with it. And then these are all applesauce, which, like I said, I use it a lot for baking. And then down here we have spaghetti sauce. These 2 rows are spaghetti sauce. This is a meat sauce that my husband makes. And then we have these 2 rows are stewed tomatoes. I did leave room for more because we are making more stewed tomatoes. We use quite a bit of those. Okay, moving on to vegetables. These are green beans, all from our garden. And then we have beets, also from our garden. And we have some greens. These would be collard greens that my husband canned up. And we have carrots. Now, I feel like I'm blocking the light here. Let's move over here. Some of these are glazed carrots, and some of them are regular. So I have 3 rows of regular and 3 rows of glazed, I guess. The glazed carrots, what they are is I can them just like I would regular carrots, but I add a little bit of brown sugar and a little bit of maple syrup to it along when I put the salt in. I put that in there, and then I add my hot water and I can them that way. So it just sits in that, and they're just so nicely sweet, and they're wonderful. And it's a quick grab when you know, for your holiday table or anything like that. Joe's not a big fan of canned carrots. I like them. So we do have fresh carrots in our refrigerator, and the rest are canned. Okay, so moving on, we do have different canned chicken. Like I said, it's different seasonings on the canned chicken. And then we have beef broth, which I have more bones to do more, so that is something that is on my list to do. And then we have 2 rows of chicken broth. I think it's 6 cans. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 cans, 7 jars. And I left a big open space because I have a huge stock pot upstairs on the cook stove simmering away with turkey broth. So I'm going to can that this afternoon as soon as I'm done here. And then we have canned tuna that is really good to have in casseroles and whatnot, or sandwiches, salads. And we have cream of chicken soup. That was a good buy at the store, so we picked some up. You can make it yourself. And these are all coconut milk here, which was given to us. So that's nice to have. It's great to use. I use it in place of cream. You can use it in many recipes, so it's delicious. Okay, so down here, I have a box filled with garlic. That's the garlic that we'd gotten this year from our garden. And then I have some apple cider vinegar, some white vinegar, and some molasses, which it's good to have this space now because I was able to pull it from upstairs out of our pantry. So it's nice to have out of there. Then this is filled with freeze-dried Mylar bags of freeze-dried food. So that's handy to have here next to the freeze dryer. I can just toss stuff in there. It's all labeled and dated. And then I have a few potatoes in there. That is everything. Look at it. It's so organized. It's so neat. It's much easier for us to come in here and grab. And it's a lot brighter. It was pretty dark where it was, and it was hard to see. And we always had to bring a headlamp to be able to see because the light was behind us, and it was just very dark area at the basement. And this is much lighter. It actually has a ceiling in here, so it makes it a lot nicer. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. It was kind of impromptu because I hadn't planned this actually, but I knew that I needed to get all of this set up and organized, so I thought I'm going to take everyone along for the journey. So I'm glad that you could come along with me today. And don't forget, if you are new here, I create videos on simple living, homestead grown, and all things home. And until next time.